Hi everyone, Laurie here. I am back, babies. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I am back, guys and girls, from maternity leave. And yeah, I've been on, being I would not a new mommy, but like a new mommy to a girl for the last year, and it has been amazing. I love my boy, and now I've got my girl, and it is just so great. They both absolutely love each other. My boy absolutely loves his baby sister. He's 5 now, so they're 4 years apart, which I reckon is like just perfect, Um, it's because he like remembers me being pregnant, and so he's got that bond. Had that anticipation of when she's gonna grow, when can I play with her, and she's a bit rough. Definitely different than my son. He was a chiller, he could sit in the playpen and, for hours and just be chilled. She can sit in the playpen for about 5 minutes and then she wants out of there. She wants to explore the whole house. She wants to jump on you. She wants to hit you in the face. She wants to hug you. She wants to do so many things. And my son, we all just love it. And look, I said that I was going to go and be on maternity leave for like 3 months, and from like many mums, we might say that, and when we're pregnant, we're like, yeah, of course we're going to come back real quick, and then a lot of us go, hang on a minute, I'm loving being a mum right now, and my priority is, lay with family, right? So and if you've got the means to stay, at home and focus on your kids or family for as long as you can, and COVID was on last year too, then by all means, kudos to you, kudos to me. And if you can, and if you like, if your choice is to go back to work, after a few months or a few weeks, kudos to you. We're not going to be judging here, or mommy shaming or daddy shaming or any kind of judging on this channel. No. We are going to be focusing on the good things. We're going to talk about the not so good things, and we're going to be a little bit, sometimes on this channel I'm going to do a bit of a break from the family law stuff, the child custody stuff, which is something that I focus on a lot. I always like to give a disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a legal professional. What I have been doing is I've been working on investigating, why parents or why dads or why mums, these days, a lot of mums too, lose in court, win in court, what are the things that lawyers have, done to help, benefit their clients slash, dads or mums or dads, in this case, let's be real, it is a large proportion of dads that, quite disadvantaged, and cop a lot of negative bias in family law. It has changed quite a lot, the last couple of years. So, hey, let's also talk about that. Let's also focus on that. But also it's also been happening to mums too. So sometimes that shift can go to the other extreme, and obviously that's also not good for the child. Not having a mum is not good for the child. Not having a dad is not good for the child. Having both in there, much better. So that's what we're about here. Yeah, we're not about taking, the mother completely away from the child's life because she made, the father's, life hell for, a few months, few years, however long. We're not all about payback here. We're all about focusing on the child. And I'll get to that a little bit later on. But anyways, I want to give you a little bit of my mission. My mission, I was working, for the Australian Fathers' Right movement, which I'm going to be going back to soon. But I'm also doing my side, channel on here. And my main mission, guys and girls, okay, is to give parents or to give fathers, especially fathers, but also mothers, we're never going to leave you girls out, but it's to give fathers and families hope, give them hope. because I think there's a major issue where I find that it's a big problem in a lot of these parent groups or fathers groups, that they're very focus on doom and negativity, right? And it's all dads telling other dads, or people telling other people, grandparents or aunties or whatever, but just, hey, this is my horror story and this is going to happen to you. Oh, and you're getting divorced and you're doomed, dude, and forget it. You're never going to see your kids again because that's what the courts are like. And it's just telling dads, that they're going to lose it all, that don't even bother fighting. And that to me is not only, so not true, but it is extremely irresponsible thing to do, to tell any father, right, or that he is going to lose his kids, his house, his wife, and everything, and that, he might as well just get used to it because that's how it is. Saying that to someone who's suffering at the moment is not only so uncool, but it can be dangerous. Let's be real, okay? It can be really dangerous, and it is telling somebody that they got nothing, they're going to get nothing, So what is that? So where does that leave that person, right? That leaves that person in a very vulnerable place, and in a very low, dark point in their lives. And that person can, some of them might be able to manage it. Some of them might end up committing suicide, and some of them might end up, doing worse crimes, of the other things that have happened on the news. Obviously, I'm not saying that this is only dads. Obviously, I am pro, dads, but there are other people that are going to be watching these videos too. So I want everybody to understand that, I will be focusing on talking about fathers and how to help fathers and how to stop telling fathers that they are not going to have anything good come out of fighting for their kids in family law. Let's stop doing that, because maybe that's some of the reasons why some fathers end up doing, atrocious things or committing suicide, and a lot of the dads or other people on these fathers groups, the majority of them think that they're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? They're not where I would like, my mission is to start, having that conversation, okay? If you lost, okay, back up for a moment. I investigated for years, from the Father's Right Movement page, not every single person, but as many people that I saw, I lost everything and I lost it all, or I, got full custody of my kids. Any person that mentioned either or, I made it my mission to investigate. I made my mission to message them privately, chase them up and ask them how, why, what happened, and there's always so much more to every story than what they post on Facebook, okay? So a lot of the dads, let's talk about the dads that won in court. Oh yeah, mate, I won in court, I did really well, and that's all they put. And maybe some dads say, oh, how did you do it? And then that's all they were putting, they weren't really explaining it. Maybe they give it a little tip here and there, but they weren't really getting into it. And I asked a lot of these dads, all of these dads, why weren't they, putting out more information on how to win, how you did it, what did you do? And they said, and men, you might understand this from their point of view, because you guys maybe understand each other more, that they said that why should they help other dads when they didn't get any help? They had to do it by themselves. And a lot of what they said, quote unquote, if they love their kids, as much as I did, and they will do everything in their power to get those kids back. So if they're not doing it, then why should I help them? And that was then I thought, well, why don't you tell me, just talk to me. You ain't got to write anything, and I'll pass on the information, and I'll write it up and post it. This is how you do it. This is how this dad do it. That's what he did wrong. That's what he did right. And then I'd go and investigate, obviously, the dads that lost it all, right? And or talk to their or grandmothers or aunties that mentioned that their, that their brother or son lost it all. And again, the more I investigated, there's much more to the story. How did you lose it all? What were you doing in court? What were the things that led you to lose it all? Some of them, did the wrong thing, lost it in court, maybe breached an AVO, even though there was no violence, but, they breached it anyway, and they didn't know that they were doing anything wrong. Others didn't even know that they were being stuffed over by their own lawyers until the very end, until it was all done and dusted. So even though some of them thought they were doing the right thing by throwing tens of thousands of dollars to their lawyers, they actually realized at the end that lawyer, was already friends with their ex's lawyer, and they already went, yep, let's make them fight and let's, get them divorced and let's keep, we're going to get paid by selling their house, I talk about, those, these issues in other videos, which I will link in the bottom in the description, about how lawyers can stuff you over. And I also, talk about those things in other videos. But again, my mission is to give dads hope, and my mission is to start the conversation of telling other dads, to stop telling people, stop posting things on social media that are so negative, that are so doomed, that that can just be the thing that sets someone over the edge, right? And it's like social media is, some people really take for granted. It is a huge responsibility when you are posting things on there, because a lot of people can be reading that. So you want to be careful. I always say this, and I'll always repeat it. You want to be careful what you say or write on social media. It can send some people over the edge. And if you're going to say, well, then they're just weak. Well, we've all had those moments, we've all had those moments where we're having like an argument on, on Facebook, and then, then we might have been hurt, or we've hurt somebody, somebody trolled us or we troll somebody else, and that can actually, be painful. So, it can take up a lot of time, it's negative, but mainly, if you're telling dads that you're doomed, mate, she's going to take you for everything you got, where do you think that leaves that dad? You know what I mean? Some dads might be able to manage, like I said, and others may not. So let's start telling dads that you do have rights, okay? It is your responsibility, okay? And it is up to you to exercise those rights correctly, okay? And when I say correctly, I mean that you need to search for as much information. You need to be your own advocate and your kid's advocate, okay? I would say that, family law, a lot of people say that family law is like a disease or whatever, right? If you had to deal with the disease, if anybody can relate to that, and you've had to go to doctor, get different opinions, and you've had to be your own advocate, it's the same thing. You got to be your own advocate. You got to search for how you can, get access to your kids, the right way, and I'm not saying, put your head down, keep quiet and do whatever she says. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should just have no backbone and lay down and let them, do whatever they want. No, I'm quite the opposite, okay? I'm saying you have to fight the right way. What you don't have to do, and what you really have to, get in your brains, dads, is that you cannot go into court, or to the police station, or to child protection services, or to the schools, or anywhere that's like, public, or that you're open for scrutiny, and think that you're going to be treated equally to the mother. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger, okay? It is not like that. You need to get real, okay, and get the facts. The fact is, you are not going to be treated equally to the mother, so you shouldn't be fighting the way the mother fights for, custody of the children. Dads, you got to do it differently, a lot differently, and I will explain these things in more videos, upcoming videos, and I will link a video, if I can find it, in the description about how to fight the right way. So yeah, that's let me see, I gotta find what else I need to be writing. Oh yes, I'm also getting a certificate in neuro-linguistic programming. I'm loving it. It's like a lot of people know about it, a lot of people don't know about it, not quite sure what it is, but anyways, it's a certificate in coaching, and it's going to help me help you, and get to your goals, because part of the things that I work on with people is mainly I coach them, or I ask them questions like, what is your goal? What is your goal? What do you want to get out of, speaking with me? Or what do you want to get out of going to court? Do you want 50% custody? Is that maybe too much because of your work? Do you want 30% custody? Do you want full custody? You know what I mean? Now, I will tell you right now, do not go for full custody. It ain't gonna work, okay? Very rarely would that work, and that is only after all avenues have been, dried up. And by that I mean it's like that only works if the ex has contravened the orders that the judge has made for her, right? To for you to see the kids, and she still won't allow you to see them. But not just because she contravenes the orders. You dads have to do another application in court and and tell the judge, that she has contravened the order. Not once, not twice, not thrice, not 3 times, but many times. Maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times, maybe by then, by then the judge is going to be, what, you're not listening to me, I'm just going to give him full custody because you're obviously, not following my directions, and we're going to have to keep coming here every time, wasting court time. Let's give the dad full custody. That's how dads get full custody. They don't just go in and apply full custody. If you have an application in court, a family law, and you say, I want full custody, the first thing that the judge, the independent children lawyer, the counsellors, and everybody else that's connected to, the family courts is going to see a big red flag. And they're going to say, no way. And then they're going to look at you dads in a different light. Now, that comes down, that's another one of my points that I will leave you with, is that the main thing that you want the courts, the police, and everybody that is involved in this messy divorce, because there's no divorce that isn't messy, maybe some are much less than others, is that you want them to see you, okay, as the bigger and better person, the bigger and better parent at all times. You know what I mean? And if you do slip up, and you might slip up, and you're human, okay, they want to see you redeem yourself, okay, in front of them, in front of her, okay. So that might mean that you have to, like, in an affidavit, apologize, for something that you might have said, or you might have to say that yes, you're not perfect, and you're having a bad week, and it came out wrong, and I'm learning, and I'm growing up, to understand things better. I said growing up, we're all grown-ups, but you get my drift, right? You get my drift. You want them all to see you as a bigger and better person, parent. Not perfect. Don't try to make out that you are Mr. Perfect, because that is a big red flag too. Do you know what I mean? if you are religious or you've just become religious, I'm Christian, and a lot of and we speak about this in church too. Don't go into the courtrooms or to the lawyers and her lawyers or the children's lawyers and counselors and whatnot, and tell them, well, I believe in a higher power, whether it be Jesus Christ or whether it be Allah or Buddha, whatever, and that because because I'm a religious person, I'm the bigger and better parent. So, and I believe in this higher power, so I'm better than everybody else. And like you're trying to push that onto people to show that you're better. Red card. I'm gonna get a red flag, and I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna get like a green flag that says that's good, that's wrong, that's a good idea. I'm gonna write that down. Red flag. So I remember to get that. Anyways, I hope you all have a lovely day or lovely night, depending on when I post this video. And if you want to watch more videos like this and you want to keep hearing about tips and tricks on how to fight for your kids in custody from somebody who has experience in the parents' rights movement or the father's right movement, okay, press subscribe, press like if you want to see more videos, and put down a comment and I'll be sure to respond. Thank you.